Welcome to a brand new series, Everyday People the Experience. I'm Sheila, your host. The programme is designed to chronicle those who leave their footprints on the shores of Nevis, for those who came to visit, to stay, and who will certainly return to Nevis. Here are their stories. I'm Sheila, Communications Officer for the Ministry of Tourism, and today we have a special guest on our programme. Her name is Suzi Stanhope. She comes from Derby, which is in the UK. It's a long way from home. Suzi actually lives on a beautiful yacht called the Spirited Lady. No guesses as to why it was named the Spirited Lady. Suzi is actually a spirited lady, and we're going to get to find out a lot more about Suzi and all her adventures. Hi Suzi.
Good morning.
Thank you for inviting us on board. I can't actually believe I'm here.
You were very brave.
very brave. But it is a bit of a rocky day, but it feels relatively smooth on this boat. I mean, coming across was a bit choppy. So thank you for calming my nerves. Anyway, so we're on board this fantastic yacht. How big is she?
She's 56 foot, 39 on the water, because we've got very long overhangs where you were sitting a moment ago, 12 foot wide and 8 foot deep.
This is your home.
My home.
You know, I mean, it's fabulous living in the Caribbean and all of that, but you get to see a lot more. But before we get into all of those details, I just wanted to check you as an individual. So you were born in Derby.
Yeah.
Large family?
No, it's quite complicated. I think I was born in London. My mother had to give me up, and I was adopted to a family in Derby, who loved me and I love them. Very lucky, with one adopted sister, and went to school in Wales, ran away, hated it, and went to another school, asked to leave there, and went to a boys' boarding school in Cirencester. Yes, one of 11 girls. And my crew member just was out with us now. He was another art student. There was only 2 of us, and he actually, after 41 years, came out and sailed with me for a month, just now. And then at University in Leicester, and then my first teaching job was Foy in Cornwall, hence Spirited Lady of Foy.
Okay.
So,
that's the link.
Yes.
So, where did the love of boats start? When did it actually start for you?
Well, from apparently the age before I was 1, my father had his first speedboat, a wooden speedboat called Sea Sprite 1, in Abersoch in North Wales on the Llyn Peninsula. And we always had boats, rowing boats, sailing boats. My sister had a cadet called Belle Maid that we used to take out, and so always on the water, happiest on the water.
Did you ever, when you think back now to where you're at now, did you ever believe that you would be doing this today?
No, because I was conditioned that work was more important than anything. So I went from school to teacher training colleges to school again. And even when I had a back problem or whatever, I always went to work. And so it was a huge thing for me to break with that and think, you know, I'm getting on to, I wasn't 50 then, but you have to be fit enough to sail. And also, to get my, believe it or not, my parents' approval took 2 years before they understood that I wasn't like other people. I wasn't happy inside, I wanted to be outside, and I love people, and I love sailing, and I like helping people when I can and joining in and everything. And I love the positive atmosphere that you get on yachts. And it's like a big family, everybody helps each other. An example the other day, a chap's mooring broke, and we helped him, and then the next day he came back and he dived on my mooring and made sure it was safe and put some special cable ties on.
There you
go. Know. So it's a wonderful environment.
Yeah, a nice community.
Fantastic.
Water community.
It is. It's a movable. You make very deep friendships very quickly. It's a bit heartbreaking when they go off to the Pacific, or other friends just gone back to France. But it is a very positive environment. Not many lady skippers.
Exactly.
Not many single women.
So I feel very privileged today to have met you, because you're right, because I know you would have hit different islands en route, but
not exactly hit. We do a bit of navigation, to avoid that.
I need to know the terminology.
Yeah, no, but I left in 2002, raced across the Atlantic in a challenge yacht, and got here, absolutely loved it. Got to St Lucia, absolutely loved it. Travelled around some of the islands, adored Dominica, but kept thinking I'd like to come back. But then I still went back to England thinking I should go back to teaching, and I was head of English at the time. And then I sold the small boat I had at the time and got a bigger one, a She 36, Sparkman Stevens, and left in 2002. So I then sailed across the Bay of Biscay in horrible grey conditions and wet and freezing cold and miserable for 5 days, then got to Spain and then Portugal, went on to Gran Canaria and then crossed the Atlantic. It took us 21 days. It took us, 21 days. We did about 3,300 miles and it was amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about training, because obviously you've got to learn how to navigate a boat. How long does it take for you to become an accomplished skipper, if you like?
Well, some people never do. I think a lot of it, if someone's got a bit of paper, it doesn't necessarily mean they're very good. A lot of stuff I do is instinctive. I can't tell you why something, but I do it and it seems to work. I listen to my instinct. That's the most important thing. But I did. I started off with a day skipper course, which was a night course in the winter in England.
Yeah.
And then went on to coastal skipper, and where you have to do navigation and things, and then that becomes a practical. You do 2 courses, one in the classroom, trying to plot all your positions. And I'm not a mathematical whiz. I found it very difficult. I didn't understand it at all.
Okay.
And then went on to do yacht master, and the RYA having a fantastic set of courses.
Sounds to me like you're just natural at doing this. You were meant to be on the sea.
Yes, I think so. I'm a Scorpio.
I don't-
Happiest on water. So was my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't return to ordinary life, let's say?
This is ordinary life for me.
For you it is now.
No, I couldn't go back into a little box on land.
Do you ever miss family and friends?
Well, my mother died about 4 years ago. She was 98 and a half. I discovered that I knew I had 2 sisters, but I also discovered I had a brother.
Okay.
So that's been very exciting.
Yeah.
So that's a good reason for me to go back to England. And my sister's in the US. So I will be going back. I hope to go back this year and catch up with people, because if you don't,
Time goes so quickly, doesn't it?
The boat was built. She was built for me. And there you are. That's how they start. They start them upside down, if you like.
Okay.
That's my dear mum.
Oh, bless.
So literally,
Wow.
that's the planning stage.
How long did it take to build the boat?
2 years.
2 years? Fabulous.
And then her sister ship was actually next door to us the other day.
Okay.
So I went round that one and said, I don't want that, I do want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. I'll have that like that. Yeah, so there she is. 2 years and all the deck
Wow,
and
she's all well made.
very, very well made. Yeah, very, very well made. And this is where Moti lives.
It's Moti's space.
It's Moti's space. She's in there.
Okay. Wow.
And this is where I am.
Okay.
And then there's a toilet behind there.
Oh, right, okay. Everything's just so compact.
Yes, we open that door.
Really,
Well, it does,
Yeah.
yes. And then you've got storage food under here. We went through everything yesterday.
okay.
And then the aft cabin, which is the most, I think, the most beautiful woodwork. Just watch your head if you want to go in. There's not a lot of room.
People.
That's where our new crew member will be going.
Gorgeous. Wow. Oh, okay. Nice. Lots of books.
Yes, I love reading. Because when I
Yeah.
was teaching, I was too busy teaching to
Yeah.
read. So I'm a voracious reader.
This is the life. This really is the life, you know. It's amazing.
The engine's under here.
Right.
So we have to check, there's a lot of work that goes on, not just cleaning and polishing and things, but there's a lot of seagrass here. This is why you got the turtles. So
okay.
every 3 days we have to take the strainer out and check that,
Okay.
and check for oil and do everything, make sure the impeller's okay.
Maintenance.
Then the generator, the same thing, change the oil every 6 weeks. Water maker, change the filters.
Be positive, because
You
you're
have
doing
to.
all this.
You have to get on with it and look at the bright side and say, when it rains, it's liquid sunshine.
Wow. You're my inspiration.
Yeah.
I hope you will join us for another edition of Everyday People, The Experience. Goodbye.